Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Sophia Rothschild show. The question is, what is my nature of reality? Well, first of all, I, as a person with degrees in science and also degrees in history, economics, and politics, I am totally committed to the scientific process. Therefore, there is no such thing as a person, thing, object, consciousness named a God. What we have is based on the evidence. We have the laws of physics, which is descriptive, not prescriptive. Okay, like i.e., the electromagnetic force, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. These are the forces that lead to our existence. And the as we've all been told, matter is never created or destroyed. It just changes form: solid, liquid, gas, plasma. All right, so like for example now, the strong nuclear force, as is the most powerful force in nature, it operates all at the macroscopic subatomic level. Primary role is to glue the quarks together to form protons and neutrons and to bind protons and neutrons tightly together inside the atom's nucleus. Okay, the electromagnetic force, of course, the act between electrically charged particles is um, vast physical gravity and has an infinite range. It holds electrons in orbit around the atomic nuclei and dictates all chemical reactions and is responsible for almost all everyday phenomena we experience, like friction, heat, electricity. Right? Number one, then the weak nuclear force. Weak nuclear force, that is the bound for particle decay, and it governs how subatomic particles change from one form to another, which triggers radioactive decay and powers nuclear fusion installed like our sun. And gravity, which was the weakest of the four fundamental forces, and it has an infinite range, and it attracts the force between masses of in our universe. While minuscule at the quantum level, its accumulative effect shapes the large-scale structures of the cosmos, detecting orbits, tides, and expansion of the universe. All right? So that's what we have. We have fundamental forces of man. As Albert Einstein would say, um, we have the four fundamental forces, which is descriptive, not prescriptive. And that is the reality we have. You may call it God if you want, but based on the evidence, there's no such thing as a person, thing, or object named God. What we have are the four fundamental forces of nature, which is descriptive, not prescriptive. Uh, and we know that matter is never created or destroyed. It just changes form: solid to liquid, gas, plasma. Plants decay and go back to the earth. You know, so matter is never created or destroyed. And the four fundamental forces governs all the things we see. Um, because of the force of gravity acting on our bodies on the earth, our bodies develop a certain way. The amount of light we have on the planet causes our eyes to develop a certain way. Right? So we are the product of the fundamental force of nature. Okay. Um, I don't think you can. There's nothing to pick up the phone and call and ask for a God. There's no such thing as nonsense. And also, the universe is billions of years old. There's no evidence that the Earth was created in 6 days. That is basically an, an allegory. Okay, a lot of stories in the Bible came from more ancient sources, the Epic of Gilgamesh, came from home. Um, is an older version of the story of Noah. Okay, so we don't have all the answers, and we don't know everything, but based on the evidence, there are four fundamental forces that we know of thus far, and there are we have different at least three dimensions: length, width, depth, and then there's one called time. Okay, so we look at all these realities. We are the product of the forces of nature. Because of the gravity on the planet Earth, our bodies develop a certain way. Because of the amount of light we get, so our eyes develop a certain way. Our skin develops a certain way based on the forces of nature acting upon the Earth. Okay? Um, if you probably go somewhere else in the universe, our bodies might develop a different way. But I have a scientific view of the universe. Um, my culture is Jewish. My mother is Jewish. My father is Jewish. Father is from Germany, mother from Spain. Um, but my parents, my father was white, my mother was white. We were European Jews. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, I think the Einstein view of reality is a little bit more um, rational in that we have the four fundamental forces of strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force, and gravity is, is what accounts for our existence and evolution over time. Yes, evolution is also a factual. So, no, there's no such thing as a person, thing, or object of consciousness in God. All we have are the laws of physics, and in this case, I concur with Dr. Albert Einstein, which I think in this manner, I think it's pretty to say it makes more sense than expect some God or some deity or some thing, some consciousness named God. No. All we are the four fundamental forces which can account for our existence and evolution. Okay? Thank you so much and have a good day.